Thank you, Chairman Hall. Distinguished members of the panel, thank you for the opportunity to appear before you today. As requested, I will present the ASAP's perspective regarding NASA's current acquisition approach for the commercial transportation system. As noted in our 2011 annual report, the Commercial Crew Program remains an important topic for the ASAP. We have closely followed the program, its progress, and its acquisition strategy. Sir, my outline for remarks today are: how high should the bar be set with regard to safety? The certification contracts, a big step forward, but how will they be administered? This relationship between the SAA and FAR contracts that Congressman Edwards addressed, and lastly, clear communications. Congressman Hall, when I went through this with my wife last night, it took me 7 minutes. She said that wasn't too bad for a Southerner. I told her you'd understand. In our 2011 report, we addressed the question, and I quote, "How safe is safe enough?" The pursuit of great reward often comes hand in hand with great risk. So it has always been with explorers. The answer to the question must come from a balance between risk and reward and should reflect a consensus among the American people, the White House, and the Congress. It is not our purpose or intent to answer the question, how safe is safe enough? It is instead to point out areas where we believe the stated requirement may not produce the requisite safety. Mr. Gerstenmaier and his team produced a retrospective review of the Space Shuttle safety program and risk with the benefit of 20/20 hindsight. During those Genesis days, there was a belief that the risk of loss to crew was 1 in 1,000. Retrospectively, we believe now that it is 1 in 12. The design goal or design baseline for commercial space is 1 in 270 for a specific mission. So we raise the question, are we raising the bar high enough? That remains to be seen, but I know it's very much on the mind of NASA. In our submission, sir, we provide a checklist of what we believe are 6 most important items, and as our practice, we have color-coded them, red, yellow, green, to reflect what we believe to be their status. A solid green and a giant step forward is that NASA has clearly communicated to the partners come contractors that certification is a fundamental requirement of transitioning NASA and transporting astronauts to and from space. 3 elements that we code as yellow: they're progressing, they're advanced significantly by the certification contracts, but not yet in hand, are establishing solid requirements, promulgating how the agency will verify those requirements, and a validation and verification plan. 2 elements that are red in our mind deal primarily with the process that contractors shall follow on the path to certification. Congressman Edwards, as you indicated, it's not yet clear to us how waivers and deviations will be approved, who is accountable, and how the process shall be administered. Lastly, both from the Congress's perspective and NASA's perspective, budget and budget stability are a significant challenge. Mr. Chairman, informally, the committee staff has asked, is the Space Act agreement appropriate to support the development of commercial true transportation capabilities? To date, many maintain that the freedom and flexibility of an SAA have enabled creativity and innovation, and it may be delivering greater value for money. That may be true. However, we arrive at this point in time with the designs that are maturing before requirements, where government and industry have not yet agreed on how winning designs will be accepted and certified. The current acquisition approach, when funded under the SAA construct, is concurrent with a contracted or FAR-based certification program. It is unique and it is complex. In our opinion, this approach is a workaround for the requirements and the communication and challenges implicit in the SAA. It is not clear yet to the panel how the safety requirements necessary for certification will flow from the FAR contract to the SAA partners. Let me speak specifically to communication, and I would submit this is my most important message of the morning. In our travels to Boeing, SpaceX, Orbital Sciences, Sierra Nevada, and Blue Origin, we've heard pros and cons with regard to the SAA. Flexibility is universally the prime advantage. However, as the design matures and begins taking shape, partners seek reassurance that they are on the right track that will lead to successful certification. They pose specific questions about what NASA will eventually require of the designs. But NASA interprets that they cannot provide the answers to these SAA questions, questions under the SAA construct. We ask the partners, so in that case, what do you do? One contractor answered by saying, we look for nonverbal communication. You know, body language and winks and nods. Mr. Chairman, if you're the congressionally chartered panel tasked to watch over safety, this is not a comfortable communication approach for requirements. The FAR-based certification contract has the potential to overcome this challenge, but is a workaround for the downsides of Space Act agreements. Thank you, sir.